Today, we're with Ben, and you're going to tell us a bit about. Well, first off, I should say you're from Floodgate Games, isn't it?
Yeah, that's right. Floodgate Games.
Yeah. And what's your position there at the company?
I'm the owner of Floodgate, so this is my game company.
So you're in the best position. You own it all, lock, stock, and barrel, don't you?
Yeah, but I get to do all the cleanup too. So I am both the CEO and janitor. So
that's it. You're doing everything. You're responsible for everything. Yeah, I know that feeling. So you've had amazing success with your game Sagrada, haven't you?
Yeah. It's been a really good one for us.
Yeah. So it's been a hit worldwide. It's anyone that's into board games, they seem to come across that game, don't they?
Yeah, we launched that one in 2017, and it's just been getting really great reception. We were able to make a couple expansions for it. Really happy with how much fun people are getting out of our little board game here.
Where did you get the idea for it?
So Sagrada is a dice drafting game about building stained glass windows. It's designed by a couple friends of mine, Daryl and Adrian from Canada, and they originally came up with this idea from combining, one is the concept of map painting theory, of how you would paint a map, and it requires a certain number of colors based on how the regions in the map are connected. So that was Adrian's concept. And then Daryl's concept was, after a trip to Barcelona to visit La Sagrada Familia Cathedral, he felt really inspired to make a game with this theme. They smashed those ideas together, showed it to me. I said, I love this. Well, actually, my wife said, I love this. I said, great, I'll publish this game. And we kind of took it from there. I did the development, the art direction, working with the very talented Peter Wilkin to get the art put together. And it's just been a real great reception for us. Again, we've been able to release the base game, and we have a ton of great international partners. It's published in about a dozen different languages right now, and the expansions keep building on the puzzliness of the game and giving gamers more and more challenges, more and more things to discover within the game.
So are you going to keep them expansions coming? Are they going to carry on? Or have you done them all now?
No, we have a lot of stuff in the pipeline. So we've did a 5 and 6 player expansion. That was by popular demand. Everybody wanted to play with their whole game group, so that was the first one we put out. And then we wanted to start playing around with new mechanisms and how to explore the underlying concepts of the game. So the core concept of the game is, as you're placing dice, you're matching colors and numbers on a little pattern card. Yeah. But the twist is, you can never put two of the same color or number next to each other. So it kind of feels familiar, like Sudoku. And that's the core concept of the game. You're trying to achieve some objectives and such. And we decided to continue to expand on it. We made a series called The Great Facades, which there are 3 facades within the Sagrada Familia. And we've made an expansion to sort of represent a different set of concepts to explore. Passion was the first expansion that we put out in the series last year. That's sort of the artist's passion, giving players individual powers and, of course, introducing new dice. And then just this year, about 2 months ago, we released the Life expansion, the second one in the series. That one sort of represents the challenges of life itself, and gives you new dice, of course, that you can add new restrictions to your board, but get great reward for meeting them. And then forthcoming is the third in the series. It's called Glory. And we haven't released much information about that, but that one will be coming out in the future.
I think that's good when you can have these expansions, because basically, board games do take up quite a bit of room, and they do cost a certain amount of money, and it saves you buying a whole new board game where you can just order one of these smaller expansions. It's not taking up too much space. It's not as costly as going out and buying a new board game, and it's adding to a game that you already love and bringing a new twist. So it keeps it alive, doesn't it? So it is a good idea. But was Sagrada your first game? Was that the first one you brought out?
No, I've been publishing board games since 2012. I did some of my own original designs, and then mostly doing development and serving the publishing role for the rest of them. So I can't remember which one in the lineup it was, but it was quite a few years in, but has enabled me to take on Floodgate as a full-time gig for myself too. So I've been able to build a really great team around that and our other products, and the company's just been growing, and it's been really exciting.
It is. I mean, I've heard this type of story. I mean, yours is a very successful story, but similar ones where people with a love of board games have just kind of like set up, formed a company, brought a board game out, and I'm making it sound easy, but I know it's not. But that's what they've done. People like you with the talent that have got these board games out, and you formed companies, and they've been a success. I mean, obviously, for every success like you, there's a load of failures, but it's like you've just gone on one man. I've decided to do this, and a lot of people think the mega companies behind these, but they're not. Some of them are like family run, aren't they? Or like one person who's doing everything.
Oh yeah. Kickstarter is probably the most influential aspect of being able to do that. It really made it so that a single person who can coordinate their own one project is able to reach an audience and get funding for their project before needing to commit to making a physical product. It's pretty capital intensive to make a board game. You have to do a large print run to get the economies of scale and such. So Kickstarter really made it so you can get those funds before needing or proving your concept out. And that's actually how I started as well with my first game called Legacy Gears of Time. It's a game I just designed and worked with a friend for the illustration, another person I knew for the graphic design. We put it together, put it on a Kickstarter, and had strangers giving me money for a game idea I made up. And it was the craziest thing. But it worked.
Good idea. That's always good when strangers give you money. I always think that's a plus. You're doing something right. But apart from Sagrada, I keep saying it wrong, keep getting it, Sagrada, what else have you got? Like, what else are you selling, or have you got coming up? Anything other than that?
Yeah, actually just releasing today is a game called Holy Festival of Colors. Yeah. This is a game about a festival that originated in India but is celebrated around the world. It actually signifies the end of winter, and I know we're coming right into the beginning of it, but this festival is traditionally celebrated in March. It's most notably singing, dancing, but again, most notably throwing colored powder on each other. So you may have seen videos of celebrations like this, but we tried to capture that feeling in a board game. So this one has a super cool 3D board. You're moving around the board, playing pattern cards to drop your color on the crowd and onto your fellow celebrants, and climbing up the 3D board, letting your color rain down on everyone. It's real good fun. It's got a nice puzzly feel to it, but it still plays pretty fast. It's really nice in that there's this really eye-catching 3D board, but it actually matters. It has impact on the gameplay. So you're thinking through the puzzle of how high up do I go, and how do I choose to play my color cards and such. We're really excited about this one. Again, we did. Oh, go ahead.
It's great themes that you're coming up with. That you're coming up with something different, aren't you?
Yeah. I like to explore themes in board gaming that are relatable and really kind of tie back to real life experiences. Don't get me wrong. I love fantasy tropes and having like playing zombie games or pirate games and such. But really, to me, to make a game that's of the weight of the games we're making and have them feel approachable and feel like they're not going to be intimidating for gamers to bring to their like non-gamer spouses and family and friends, I think it's important to explore themes that are fun and unique, but also don't feel incredibly far off or fantastical. And we also try to make games that have lower conflict and are family friendly in the respect of like how you're interacting in the game still feels nice and pleasant.
Yeah, you're not competing with one another too much. It's not, yeah. It's not. They're not games that will cause arguments.
Right, right.
Can't they?
Yeah, you definitely want a touch of competition because that kind of keeps people engaged and it's always nice to see like who wins and such. But yeah, there's not a lot of like ruining your stuff or beating up your guys or anything like that. We try to avoid stuff like that in our games.
Well, it's been fantastic talking to you, Ben.
Likewise, thank you.
We hope to have you on the show again with some updates on what you're doing.
Yeah, that sounds great. Thank you very much.
And don't forget to like and subscribe to get more great content.